You might want to sit down for this because what's about to unfold in Genoa City is going to shake everything you thought you knew about Patty Williams. For years, she has been obsessed with Jack Abbott, her love, her fixation. But what if that story is about to change in a way no one saw coming? Could Patty's heart be turning to someone entirely unexpected? Yes, you heard that right. The very woman who has lived through heartbreak, betrayal, and scandal could be shifting her attention to a new man, and the sparks between them may set the stage for one of the most shocking twists in Young and the Restless history. But who is this mysterious figure, and why does Patty feel such a powerful pull toward him? Stick with us as we break it all down, scene by scene, and explore just how this new connection might reshape the drama in Genoa City. For years, Patty Williams has been a character defined by intensity. She loves passionately, fights fiercely, and sometimes teeters on the edge of danger. Her obsession with Jack Abbott has dominated storylines for decades, but the May 18th episode promises something completely different. It looks like her gaze is shifting, her heart is stirring, and her emotions are aligning with someone who may understand her in ways Jack never could. Enter Matt Clark, the handsome and charming newcomer, or in his case, the man with a complicated past and an even more complicated present. Patty and Matt first crossed paths in the coffeehouse, and from the moment their eyes locked, there was a spark, but don't be fooled into thinking it's a simple flirtation. The connection between these two is layered, subtle, and fraught with potential danger. Matt sees something in Patty that others, including Phyllis Summers, cannot. He senses the humanity behind her past mistakes. He understands her desire for redemption, even if she doesn't yet fully trust herself. Now imagine the tension as Matt summons Patty for a private conversation in this episode. Picture it, a quiet room, the hum of the city outside, and the weight of everything they've experienced looming between them. Matt will confess that he feels a certain kinship with Patty. In his words, it's almost as if they are mirrors of each other, both struggling with the shadows of their past. This is where curiosity peaks. What does it mean for Patty to hear someone say she is understood, not judged, not feared? Here's the twist. While Phyllis Summers has spent years cataloguing Patty's misdeeds and warning everyone in Genoa City to steer clear, Matt isn't scared. He doesn't recoil from her past, and that is exactly what makes him irresistible to Patty. For someone who has often been feared or dismissed, a man who sees her humanity is a rare, precious thing. Could this finally be the validation she has longed for? Could Matt become the anchor she never had with Jack? Of course, Patty isn't just a woman drawn to attention or charm. She has always been strategic, calculating, and let's face it, dangerous when crossed. In this episode, we may see her begin to shift her obsession. She could trade her fixation on Jack for a growing interest in Matt, and if that happens, Genoa City is in for a shock. But here's the thing, this isn't just about romance. It's about alliances, trust, and the delicate balance of power in a city that thrives on secrets. As the story unfolds, Patty is determined to have Matt on her side. She will do everything she can to ensure he sees her not just as a past villain or a woman with a dark history, but as someone reliable, loyal, and capable of standing by him. This brings us to a fascinating moment of suspense in the May 18th episode. Patty is poised to turn Matt against Phyllis. Why? Because she knows the stakes, she understands the players, and she knows that alliances in Genoa City can shift the moment someone feels secure or threatened. But let's pause for a moment and consider Matt's perspective. He is in a vulnerable state, struggling with amnesia, unsure who to trust. The audience knows that this makes him particularly susceptible to manipulation, and yet it's also why his connection with Patty is so compelling. Patty can be a guiding hand, a protector, or even a potential danger. Every decision she makes in the coming episodes will reveal whether she is truly seeking redemption or if old patterns of obsession and manipulation will resurface. Now things are about to get even more intense. At some point in this storyline, Matt will find himself bound and gagged in his suite at the GCAC. Yes, it's as shocking as it sounds. The stakes could not be higher. Who put him in this position? Is it Phyllis attempting to regain the upper hand, or is it another enemy entirely? The suspense is almost unbearable because at this point, Matt's safety and his trust in those around him hangs by a thread. Enter Patty. This is where her character shines in a complex, morally ambiguous way. Patty will have the opportunity to rescue Matt, to prove that she is trustworthy, to solidify their growing bond. Picture the tension as she approaches his suite, possibly with the help of a hotel maid, Marcy Goldman, who shares scenes with both Matt and Patty in the May 21st episode. Will Patty act selflessly, or will her own desires color her actions? This is the heart of daytime soap drama. Every act carries emotional weight. Every decision could trigger a cascade of consequences. Patty may concoct an excuse for Matt's tied-up state, perhaps claiming they were spicing things up or engaged in a playful scenario. It's a clever tactic, one that allows her to navigate a potentially explosive situation without drawing immediate suspicion, but even as she explains, the audience knows there's more at play. She is proving herself, building trust, and subtly deepening the emotional tension between herself and Matt. Think about the implications for Genoa City. If Patty successfully rescues Matt and gains his trust, she may solidify a new alliance that could shift the balance of power. Suddenly, Matt is not just a man recovering his memories, he becomes a key player in a web of intrigue with Patty as his confidant or his wild card. Will Phyllis realize too late that Patty is no longer just an adversary to be feared, but a force to be reckoned with in her own right? The drama doesn't end there. Patty's potential obsession with Matt brings an additional layer of suspense. While she claims to be reformed, those familiar with her past know that she can be unpredictable, even dangerous. As viewers, we are left to wonder, will her feelings for Matt remain protective and loving, or will old patterns of obsession resurface, threatening not only her own safety but Matt's as well? Here, what makes this storyline particularly compelling for longtime fans. The writers have crafted a narrative that respects the characters' histories while pushing them into uncharted territory. Patty has always been a complex figure, straddling the line between redemption and danger. Matt is a character with layers of mystery, charm, and vulnerability. Bringing them together creates tension that is emotional, thrilling, and loaded with potential twists. And while we are analyzing this story, consider the subtleties. Patty's actions are not purely heroic, they are strategic, deliberate, and informed by her deep understanding of human behavior. Matt's responses are equally telling. His vulnerability, his trust, and his growing connection to Patty all hint at future storylines that could redefine relationships in Genoa City. For fans who have followed these characters for decades, this is a slow burn payoff that mixes emotional resonance with suspenseful storytelling. The stakes are clear: one wrong move, one misplaced trust, and alliances could crumble. Yet the potential for a genuine connection between Patty and Matt introduces a rare sense of hope in a city known for betrayal and secrets. The audience is drawn in not just by the drama but by the emotional complexity, the question of whether redemption is possible, whether trust can be rebuilt, and whether love can blossom in the shadow of past mistakes. As we look ahead, there are a few things to watch closely in the coming episodes. First, Patty's loyalty. How far will she go to protect Matt? Second, Matt's perception. Will he fully see Patty's intentions, or will his amnesia cloud his judgment? Third, the reactions of Genoa City's other power players, particularly Phyllis, who may not yet realize the shifting alliances. And finally, the emotional undercurrents that make soap drama so addictive: jealousy, obsession, redemption, and the constant dance between danger and desire. By the time the May 18th episode concludes, viewers will have witnessed not just a plot twist, but the potential reshaping of relationships in Genoa City. Patty's decision to focus on Matt could signal the start of a new chapter in her life, one that challenges her past behavior while introducing fresh suspense and emotional intrigue. For audiences who love to dissect every look, every gesture, and every line of dialogue, this storyline promises endless material for discussion, speculation, and anticipation. Now let's consider the implications. If Patty's alliance with Matt strengthens, what could this mean for Jack Abbott? Will he feel replaced, betrayed, or perhaps finally see Patty's capacity for growth? How will Phyllis react if she senses her influence over Matt slipping? And for Matt, who has been navigating a complicated world with gaps in his memory, how will he interpret Patty's loyalty, her intensity, and her undeniable magnetism? The answers to these questions will not come immediately. That's the genius of daytime soap drama. The suspense keeps you coming back, episode after episode, week after week. The emotional stakes are high, the characters' histories are rich, and the potential for shocking twists is always just around the corner. As fans, we are left with both curiosity and concern. Patty has always been capable of great love and terrifying obsession. Matt has shown himself to be perceptive, charming, and resilient. When these two worlds collide, the result is a storyline filled with unpredictability, suspense, and emotional intensity that will keep viewers glued to their screens. So what happens next? Will Patty truly find redemption through her connection with Matt? Will their bond survive the chaos of Genoa City, the schemes of rivals, and the ghosts of their own pasts? And perhaps most importantly, can a woman like Patty, so often misunderstood, so often feared, finally find a place where she is not only accepted but genuinely loved? One thing is certain, the coming episodes promise drama, suspense, and emotional revelations that no fan will want to miss. The Young and the Restless has crafted a storyline that respects long-term fans while offering new viewers a thrilling entry point. And as Patty and Matt's story unfolds, the rest of Genoa City will be watching, wondering who will emerge victorious in the ever-shifting landscape of trust, loyalty, and love. So viewers, as you settle in for the May 18th episode, ask yourself this: can Patty Williams truly change, or is this latest connection with Matt Clark the beginning of yet another obsession that will leave Genoa City reeling? Stay tuned, because in Genoa City, nothing is ever quite what it seems.